Hey. My fellow Fijians, Bulavinaka, and a very good evening to you all. We can only achieve the greatness we aspire to in the new Fiji, only to be an inspiration to our island neighbors, only become a clever country if we can trade more effectively. Which is why tonight is so important, the unveiling of a 10-year framework to strengthen our trade performance all the way to 2025, along with the launch of an online system that gives foreign investors a new window on Fiji, enabling them to begin the process of setting up businesses here from wherever they may be, anywhere in the world. My fellow Fijians, the Fijian Trade Policy Framework is truly a milestone in our nation's development, which is why I'm so delighted to be here tonight with you all, the main stakeholders in our economy, as we embark together on a decade-long crusade. It is a campaign to take the Fijian-made brand to the four corners of the earth, to earn us the export dollars we need to improve the lives of every Fijian, to fulfill our dreams, to build a nation that is great, not only one of equality and opportunity, but where poverty and despair gives way to prosperity and happiness. That is my government's vision. That is our plan. And with your help, we will achieve it. Ladies and gentlemen, this document is comprehensive, it's easy to understand, and is one of the most important blueprints for our national development ever produced. It is up there with our Constitution and our recently released Green Growth Framework. Why? Because each of those, along with this policy, sets down a solid development pathway for Fiji to follow in the coming decade and beyond. Our Constitution has established a supreme law under which every Fijian has equal opportunity, equal access to justice, and an unprecedented range of social and economic rights. Our Green Growth Framework establishes an economic model in which the sustainable use of our resources is paramount. And now, our Trade Policy Framework lays out a comprehensive course of action to take our economy to another level by boosting our trade performance, to bring together all of the strands of our economy, all of the stakeholders, to work together to expand our global footprint and make Fijian-made goods and services a byword for quality and consistency the world over. Each of these documents is complementary. Together, they represent a holistic approach to our development. And all these will feed into the 5 and 20-year national plans we are currently formulating with the input of every Fijian to take our nation forward. So I urge everyone to read these documents, the Constitution, the Green Growth Framework, and our Trade Policy Framework, to appreciate where we are heading as a nation. A Fiji of equal opportunity and justice for all. A Fiji where economic growth will never come at the expense of the environment. And a Fiji that intends to educate and improve the skills of our people, encourage a spirit of enterprise and hard work, attract more local and foreign investment, grow our existing industries and develop new ones, cement Fiji's place as a hub of the Pacific, and sell Fijian-made goods and services throughout the world at the highest possible price. I also want to embark on a mission to explain. We've already translated the Constitution and the Green Growth Framework into the Tauke and Fiji Hindu, and we will do the same with this policy, because we want all Fijians to come with us on this journey. I keep saying that my government is determined to leave no one behind, and that includes sharing our vision for the new Fiji. Excuse me. One of the cornerstones of this new framework is inclusiveness, a concerted national effort embracing every Fijian to move our nation forward. My fellow Fijians, let me just give you a snapshot of how far we've come before moving on to where we intend to go. After independence in 1970, the Fijian economy was growing at an average rate of 2.4%. Then in the last decade, the economy grew at an average rate of 1.1%. None of this was good enough. We simply didn't have the right conditions, political stability above all, to encourage enough private sector growth and investment to power our economy to a reasonable level, let alone make it sing. So one of my government's top priorities from 2007 onwards has been to embark on a series of ambitious reforms to kickstart the economy and create the necessary conditions for real growth, real prosperity. Among other things, we reduced taxes, provided a range of investment incentives. We started making the process of dealing with government more business-friendly, tackled our infrastructure problems and got bottlenecks, such as our roads, our ports, and our airports. And of course, we ended 3 decades of arrested national development by uniting the country and introducing our first genuine democracy. We are now reaping the rewards of those reforms. We've recovered strongly from the economic gloom of previous decades, and we are in the throes of the most sustained period of growth in post-independence history. More investment, more jobs, and an era of prosperity for Fijians that we are determined to eventually extend to every citizen, and especially the disadvantaged. I keep talking about working together as a nation to grow the national cake so that everyone can get a better slice rather than cutting off big pieces for special interest groups. Well, that is happening. The entire cake is getting bigger, and we must all work together as hard as we can to keep it growing, to give every Fijian a better slice. We are now in the 6th year of consecutive growth on the back of my government's sound economic policies, coupled with an improvement in the general business environment for private sector expansion. And for the first time in Fijian history, the economy has been growing at a rate above 4% for 3 consecutive years. We had a high of 4.6% in 2013. Can we crack the 5% in 2015? On current indications, we could come pretty close. As to the level of investment, we are also on track this year to record the 3rd consecutive year in which investment exceeds 25% of GDP. And our foreign reserves are also higher than ever before, almost $2 billion as of last month, enough to cover 5 months of imports. So as a nation, we are steadily building our economic strength, and our trade policy framework is designed to take us even further. My fellow Fijians, tonight marks the culmination of 20 months of hard work. When I commissioned the development of the trade policy framework in September 2013, I called on every sector to work as a team and produce a blueprint to maximize our international trade position. I'm very pleased that this is what happened. Government and the private sector working together as partners in development. We don't operate in isolation. We recognize the private sector as the engine of economic growth and the principal creator of the jobs Fijians need to prosper. We didn't produce this document in isolation. It is a result of a vigorous process of consultation. And I want to thank every stakeholder for your input. Thank you. And I want to thank every stakeholder for your input, the quality of your ideas, and the way in which we have all collaborated in a great project to take our beloved nation forward. As I indicated earlier, this is not a standalone document. It is linked, like the links of a chain, to our overall policy effort, whether it is the Constitution, the Green Growth Framework, our agriculture policy, and the other elements of the national agenda, all feeding into our national development plan, to which so many ordinary Fijians are currently giving their input. Our super framework, if you like, to take us as a nation first to 2020 and then to 2035. What the trade policy framework does is to bring our overall trade effort under one umbrella, We need more coordination, more consistency. We need to encourage the growth of Fiji's industrial base, make us more attractive to investors. Be smarter, more innovative, more adaptable, identify more opportunities in the global marketplace for our goods and services. Give our exporters all the assistance we can, and also raise Fiji's voice to call for better and fairer access to the global marketplace, to participate more effectively in trade negotiations and fully integrate Fiji into the global trading system. At home, we must continually improve and refine the performance of our manufacturing, agriculture, and service sectors. We must all work harder and smarter to make them more dynamic and more competitive. The world does not owe us a living, as we are finding that out in our sugarcane industry. We have to carve out a living for ourselves. So overseas, we must intensify the search for new markets and work with our private sector in a more coordinated manner to identify new opportunities. Some of our companies are already regional and global brands, but we can take the Fijian-made trademark a lot further with more teamwork. To this end, you will see more teamwork in government in the trade area, a much closer and more cooperative relationship between the Ministry of Industry and Trade and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its diplomatic missions abroad. Your mission is to market the Fijian-made brand and attract investments. And I want you to work hand in hand with each other and the private sector to do it much more effectively. This is very important, and let me be very blunt. We can only achieve our vision for Fiji if every sector of government works in unison, puts aside petty rivalries and turf wars, and focuses on one thing and one thing only: the national economy. I will not tolerate any bureaucratic obstruction to implementing this agenda. We need every arm of government to engage with each other and the private sector to maximize the impact of our export effort. The concept of Team Fiji, of working together to achieve our national goals, has never been more crucial to our development. And I need all of you in this room to get behind and support this important initiative.
An average growth rate of 3.2% from 2010 to 2015.
Future interest in geographic location, supplying the regional markets as well as the...
So is regulating capital markets.
19% building forecast, but still in a...
Economic growth in the rural sector and focuses on small